Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Stephen Forte here from StephenForte.com, and we'll be doing a brief tutorial on Photoshop and just the tools in Photoshop, the bare essentials that you'll need to get started in Photoshop, okay? Alright, so let's just go over some of the tools. Oh, also like or subscribe to my YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please like and share to your friends, and let's help to get some more traction or some more traffic. Okay, so I was asked to do a video about the tools in Photoshop, or this tools panel here. Okay, so I wanted to make sure that everybody knows, or that you guys know, that um you can collapse or you can move the tools panel. Now, if you look at my mouse right here on the right hand side, you'll see this dotted line, it looks like. So if you left mouse click on there and just drag it, you can move this to wherever you'd like it to be at. Like, you can move it right there, you can go further, you can go all the way to the left. Once you see that blue line, you can dock it there, or you can move it back over to like the side that I had it on. Now, I had mine set up a certain way to make it just easier for my workflow, because I do a lot of things over here in the layers panel, and I don't want to have to go all the way over to the left of the screen and then come back to the right of the screen to move something in my layers. So I made sure that everything that is in my workflow is right here on the right hand side. Other than the things that are up here up top, some of those boxes that I need to go into uh, quite often. Okay, so first thing is um, your cursor, or your V. If you hit, there's shortcut keys for, I think, every tool over here. And so if you just hover over the tool that it is, it will show you the shortcut key. Like the first one, the move tool or the cursor, is V. I don't know why it's V, but it is. So it is what it is. All right. And so you can move things around with that, just like my picture. That has nothing to do with Photoshop, but um, all of the cursors allow you to move things on any program pretty much. So the next one we have is the rectangle marquee tool. Now the first one, if you hold down, or the move tool, if you hold down the left mouse button, you don't see anything that pops up. But when you go to the rectangle marquee tool, also the shortcut for that is M. So if you go to the marquee tool and you left mouse click, then you should see your rectangle marquee tool, elliptical marquee tool, the side row marquee tool, and your marquee tool. In other videos, we'll go into how to use those and what you may need them for. The next one we see is shortcut L, or lasso tool. Left click on there, and you see the lasso tool, polygonal lasso tool, and the magnetic lasso tool. Next we have the, I believe it is our quick selection tool. Yes, the quick selection tool, or W. Bang! Alright, that had nothing to do with anything either. So W, you left click on there, and you have the quick selection tool and your magic wand tool. Alright. Next you have your crop tool. Left click on there, you have crop, perspective, crop, slice, and slice select tool. Next you have oops, your eyedrop tool, and under there it's I for shortcut, uh, and you have your 3D material eyedrop crop, your color stamp tool, your ruler tool, your note tool, and your count tool. Alright, next you have your red eye tool. Red eye just allows you to get red eyes out of a picture, or probably replace the color of an eye. So you have your spot heal brush tool, your heal brush tool, your patch tool, your content aware move tool, and your red eye tool. And the shortcut for that one is J. Next, you have your brush tool. Your brush tool shortcut is B. You have your brush, your pen tool, your color replacement tool. That should be very important, especially if you wanted to make it look like somebody had brown eyes when their eyes were really blue, or green eyes when their eyes were whatever, or you want to give them red eyes or whatever, or you just want to change the color of a background. And you also have your mix brush tool. Next, you have your clone stamp tool. Shortcut is S. And you have your clone stamp and your pattern stamp tool under there. That's good for when you're doing photo editing. I also do photos, photography, so a lot of times I'm doing photo editing. Alright, so next we have your healing brush tool and your art healing brush tool. Shortcut is Y. After that, we have your erase tool. Shortcut is E. Erase tool, background erase tool, which should be very valuable to you guys as well. And your magic erase tool. And we'll talk about those in a later video. Next, you have your paint your paint bucket tool. And the shortcut for that one is G for gallon, because you have a paint gallon. Or gradient. So you have your gradient tool there, your paint bucket tool there, and your 3D material drop tool there. Alright, so next one you have your, let's see, your blur tool. And blur is good for like when, I don't know, say somebody's got a zit on their face and you don't want to see it, or you want to blur out the background or a certain thing on a photo. So you got your blur tool, your sharpen tool, and your smudge tool, which should all be very helpful for photos. Next, you have your dodge tool. Alright, so you have your dodge tool, your burn tool, and your sponge tool. Also all very valuable. Next, you have your pen tool. Shortcut is P for pen. Your freedom pen tool, your add anchor tool, your delete anchor point tool, and your convert point tool. Alright. Next, you have your text tool. And your text tool, you just have one thing under there because, well, actually no, you have multiple. You have your horizontal text, vertical text, horizontal text mask tool, and vertical text mask tool. And the shortcut for that one is T. Next you have your path selection tool. And you have your path selection tool and your direct selection tool. Shortcut for that is A. And after this we have your shapes. So you have your rectangle tool, you can create shapes on a document or on a photo. So your rectangle tool, your rounded rectangle tool, elliptical or eclipse tool, no, ellipse ellipse or elliptical tool, your polygon tool, line tool, and your custom shapes tool. Custom shapes tool is kind of cool. So we'll click on that, and if we go up here to the top panel where we see shapes at, we can click through a whole host of different shapes that we have. Or we can go over here to the settings for it, and then we can change like what shapes we're going to see. If we're going to see animals, arrows, artistic, banners, and so forth and so on. So that's a good thing to know if you need to make a flyer or something like that. You need to know where the tools are. The H tool, or the next one is H for hand. So you have your hand tool and you have your rotate your view tool. And so hand tool is H and rotate is R, of course. And next we have our Z or zoom tool. So when we click on there, and we can zoom in and out on our photo by we can adjust it up here on the left hand side under edit. We can either zoom in or zoom out, and makes it very simple for us. And next we have where we would select our colors. So this will be our foreground color, which is white, and our background color, which is blue. Now you can change them by hitting on the arrow, and you can switch the foreground to background by either pressing X, or you can hit the arrow right here on the right hand side as well. And next we have the Edit in Quick Mask tool, which is very valuable, or will be very valuable once we get into it. And after that, we have the Change the Screen mode with F. So we can go to standard screen mode, full screen mode with menu bar, or full screen mode. All right. So that is our tools. I'll go over, I guess, one last thing. So you may notice that um, when you're looking at your screen that you don't see the same things that I see. So one of the valuable things that you'll see is, or one of the most important things you'll see is that you have this window tool up here. So any of the Adobe products has a window tool, or window and view. So once you come into window, you can select your workspace. I have mine set up to 3D, but you can go to, say, Essentials. And Essentials is going to take away the 3D option. So if you have CS5, CS3, CS4, CS5, or CS6 for Photoshop, and you don't have the extended version, then this is probably what you'll see. Okay, so you'll see your tools here on the right. You'll see a couple other options over here. So that is your properties and your history, your color, your switches. So you can change your RGB over here, or your red, green, and blue over here, and your values for them. And then over here you have your layers, your channels, and your path. Down here you have a couple other tools, and we'll go over them in a later video. Alright, so I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was valuable to you guys. And oh, also, if you don't see your tools on your screen at any point and it disappears, or your layers or anything, just make sure that when you go into window, no matter what workspace you're on, if you choose to use, say, 3D motion, paint, photography, typography, reset essentials, or anything in there, just make sure that you scroll down to the bottom and you hit tools, and that you hit layers, and just make sure that those things are checked off, because if they're not, then you will not have your tools on your side. Okay. All right, you guys have a great day, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you again soon. Have a great day. Bye.